Outpouring of support this afternoon for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. That's where someone left one of the most hated and feared symbols in all of America. A noose was found tossed near the KKK exhibit in the museum, and police are investigating this as a hate crime. Our Bruce Johnson has been on the story, and he got an exclusive interview with museum founder and director Lonnie Bunch. And Bruce, what's been the reaction to all of this?
Oh, it's the range, from anger, from disgust to surprise, and it's worldwide. I mean, the web is blowing up over this. I talked to Lonnie Bunch, and he says there is grave concern among the staff, the visitors, and the thousands of people around the country who have contributed to the African American Museum. Here's what he says about that noose that was intentionally left by somebody in clear view so that others could find it.
Yesterday afternoon, a noose was found in the history galleries of the museum near a section that looks at the Ku Klux Klan in the 1920s.
Do you read that as some kind of message?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to read it. What I know is that the noose is such a painful symbol that, to me, this really was a very hurtful moment.
Who do you think would do such a thing?
Well, I mean, I think we have no idea. Was it a kid who thought this was an interesting prank? Was it somebody who felt that this museum was a symbol of an America that maybe they didn't agree with? But all I know is that it reminds me why this museum is so important.
Lonnie Bunch would not talk specifics about security. He did call it one of the safest museums in all of the country, if not the world, both inside and out. There are protections, cameras, people with weapons, and security you don't see, he says. Now, here's something positive about this hateful act. Our interview from our off-script broadcast at 7 had been in the works for quite some time, okay? While Lonnie Bunch and I were having lunch, a staff member appears out of nowhere and tells the founder and director of the National Museum of African American History and Culture that you got to get outside and you got to get out there quickly because scores of Smithsonian employees from other museums had gathered outside in a show of support and needed to see and hear from him right away. I followed along behind and recorded these scenes on my iPhone.
I am so moved that you're all here. As you know, we're a family, and it's so wonderful to us to see everybody come together at a time of pain, but a time that reminds us that the Smithsonian's at its best when it helps people confront the issues that have divided us, when it helps people realize that by working at the Smithsonian, we get to make America better.
An incredible, diverse scene in front of the National Museum of African American History and Culture today. Now, U.S. Park Police, they're investigating this noose incident. We're asking for some word from them. Where does the probe stand? Thus far, we haven't heard anything. Coming up at 6, Andrea, you're going to hear from some of those people who gathered, out in front of the African American Museum today. And it's really heart-moving, some of the comments they had.
If it was meant to divide us, it showed that we are united against hate.
Let's hope so.
All right, Bruce, thank you.
All right.
Coming up at 5.